To Blender Sushi LiveNoding. In this episode, we're gonna take a look at how we can create this kind of LED cube using geometry nodes. I'm gonna make a simple one, just 4x4x4. But if you feel like already quite advanced, you can actually build a really complex one. Like I don't know how many LED in this one, but maybe 100 by 100 by 100. And yeah, this one is pretty expensive if you build it the real thing, but yeah, inside geometry nodes, basically we can do it in many different ways. If you feel advanced, you want to start with just a volume cube, or just convert this cube into mesh, and then you turn it back into points, like distribute points inside volume. And then you increase the density, or you use grid, so you get this kind of LED grid. Let's save this very quickly. Simple cube LED. And the simplest one, because if you already have points here, if you want to make like color, you can just switch to cycles, and we already able to render these points, right? And if you just want to, just quickly play around with this right away, you can create like a color, let's say combined color. Let's say we're gonna colorize the points, so maybe we create some kind of attributes. So I think something like this should work. Start name attributes. I'm using Blender 3.4.1, so with this one you can store name attributes. So in this case, so it's gonna be color. Let's try this. Let's name this my color, or LED color. If we render it at the moment, it's just white color. Let's set material. And then we're gonna switch on the shader. Get the attributes from geometry nodes, and the name is LED color. Plug this there. Now we have red color. Okay, so red and blue, we get like magenta, so it's kind of like purple. Yeah, so you can already control the value here and play around with this HSB hue, I believe. You can also use index maybe, and plug this into the hue, or we probably need to normalize the value. Okay, map range from index, from the first and the last. How do we get the last? Anyhow, for now, just, yeah, maybe we can get length of instance on points, object info. Yeah. Anyhow, you can kind of already get the idea. We can colorize these points using geometry nodes procedurally. Okay, this is a little bit more advanced versions of the grid, right? So you can make as detailed or less detail as you want. You can also make this behaving like a real LED with emissions. So if you turn off the light, and if you have like a floor plane, this thing should be emitting some light. Yeah, just like a real LED. And maybe you can even animate this value using maybe like a wrap. Or this is like using functions just to modify the index value, or using like modulo. But that's gonna be, yeah, look at this. Okay, I'm using modulo to control the light, and I think we need actually we need compare. So index is something that goes from index 0 to the last number of the points, the total number of points that we have here. So the modulo will give it like 0 and 1, 0 and 1 value that we can compare. Okay. Yeah, this is just one example with modulo, but you got a lot of functions anyhow just to play around. So instead of using modulo, for example, if you look at all these functions like sine, cosine, ping pong, if I try ping pong, let's say if index goes into the ping pong and the value, we don't know what's the value gonna be, just plug it in into the red. Let's just add again. I will, yeah, we can see it's doing like on and off like a ping pong. And you can slowly animate it. Some of the functions that we can use, other functions like of course like sine wave. Once you start mixing all this modulo, sine wave, ping pong, you will see some nice animations. And of course we are only dealing with red color at the moment, so this is just like a sine wave. Let's get rid of everything else. And if you want to really control the RGB using a certain functions like noise, for example, you can also do that. Or you can, now I'm combining, this is the index value that's being offset up here, and it's become the color for the red and the green color, and we can animate this, and we can see how the value inside the points affecting the RGB of the LED color. Okay, so that's basically what's happening. If you use noise, if your noise itself is already like functions. You can use 3D noise. If you just plug this into the color, you will see that you get this color already, like a noise color, but it's just very pale at the moment. I think the way we can control the color is, like to normalize it, we can use vector math. Yeah, just minus 0.5. We do that quite often in the past. And we have noise functions that's working inside our LED. So currently I'm using cycle CPU. I can also use GPU compute, but I think it seems to be working kind of nice already. So yeah, that's basically the process. That's the quick way. If you want to make a simpler versions, like using the grid, for example. Grid will give you that, but grid 2 points, mesh 2 point, yeah, will give you back points. If you want to control the point, you can use set point radius. You can control the size of the LED. So that's you know this already, I guess. It's pretty basic. But if you want to make like a 3D grid, you can use line, mesh line, or curve line. Let's try mesh line. Yeah, by default we have line that goes up. So let's just instance on points. Instance our grid on these points. So this is the way we could create like a grid. Let's make it simple. 8 by 8 by 8. And then mesh the points. Yeah. Instance mesh the points. Maybe here. Realize instances just in case. Then from here we can just plug it back. So we don't need mesh 2 points here. We could just group this. Okay, now we have something that's a little bit with a little bit more control. 5 by 5. So by 5 by 5 by 5 LED, right? And then we can animate the noise. But if you feel challenged, actually, try to use our own color instead of just noise, and that's already kind of cheating. But you can build your own noise and animate it. It's actually more fun. And if I got one of these at home, 4x4x4, the cheapest one, 4x4x4 LED from Arduino, and yeah, you can actually program this using Python. I'm kind of wondering, like with a pattern and stuff, you can build something that's like kind of like you have more control of the LED, and then that's probably like the basis of the drone drone LED. You know, like if you're making, if you have like 1,000 drones and you're animating it on the space, you can create that kind of drawings. Kind of interesting. I don't know. Yeah, maybe that's what we can do also inside geometry nodes using simulations and some functions. But it's kind of interesting. So if you have like 2,000 drones, you can make like a 3D light show like this. Okay, so maybe that's something I will try in the future, but for now, just this is like the most basic one, I guess. Simple cube LED. Okay, so that's the title of this live noding. Hopefully you find this useful. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.